Okay, I'm really late to this anime, but I need to give credit where it's due, because Cyberpunk Edgerunners is one of the most unique animes I've ever seen, and frankly just one of the few banger animes that have come out in a while. I mean, seriously, this is a real gem in the anime field, and funny enough, the show doesn't even act like a traditional anime most of the time. This is because it's not a typical Japanese anime story, but a cyberpunk story. A story created by CD Projekt Red, who also created Cyberpunk 2077, which, if you remember, had one of the most legendarily shit launches of all time.
Oh. Is this game worth it? Does that answer your question?
I've heard this game is doing pretty good now, but who knows? Maybe I'll record myself playing it. But, while the actual story was made by CD Projekt Red, it was animated by good old Studio Trigger, who has made other banger animes like Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill, or there's this new one, Delicious in the Dungeon, which I heard was good. It's just people cooking in a dungeon? And then that accursed Darling in the Franxx, which took the internet by storm when it came out, and I have absolutely no idea why. This was the most gigantic piece of garbo doo-doo I have ever seen, with probably the worst ending in all of anime history. I guess everyone was just mad horny for 02 or something. The animation in Edgerunners, though, is the studio's best work by far. They really have some dynamic shots using many different colors paired with very unique angles, as well as good implementation of symbolism, and when they do use CGI, they use it quite seamlessly, at least compared to other animes. Berserk. In the setting of Night City, it definitely helps too. Being able to animate freak robot killing machines also really gave the studio a lot to work with, and they don't hold back on the gore at all. This is by far one of the most gory animes I've ever seen, up there with some Attack on Titan shit, and I just absolutely love it. And this isn't even mentioning that this anime is filled to the brim with absolute banger soundtracks produced by Studio Trigger. Every intense scene or important moment is perfectly accompanied by some banger melodies. Some I really liked were Who's Ready for Tomorrow by Boy, or Sustain/Decay, which is great, or that critically acclaimed playlist ruining soundtrack, I Really Want to Stay at Your House, which, man, every time this shit came on, my day was just fucking ruined, and I couldn't skip it either, because it's too good, so I just had to sit there and suffer with them infinite tears. Now, I watched Edgerunners in dubbed, and I know some of you hardcore anime watchers might think that's criminal, because subbed is the way that the show was intended to be watched, and I'm just gonna say, stop being a fucking basement cockroach and shut the fuck up! No one cares! I used to be one of you, but sometimes I don't like to read a whole essay every episode just to know what's going on. Not to mention the dub in Edgerunners is quite good. It is quite good. I liked all the characters' voices, and I mean, come on. They literally got Giancarlo Esposito, my boy Gus, as the main villain of the story. Like, come on, man, if that doesn't get your pickle tingling, I don't know what will. One of my favorite training arcs in all of anime is also in Edgerunners, and I'll mention that this anime has a pretty large dash of romance in it, and I'm not exactly sure how I feel about the romance. It's one of my favorite aspects of the show, but I can't really say that it exactly feels romantic. Like, the actual chemistry between the main character David and the baddie of the show Lucy is quite odd, and it flows really weird. But I suppose I kind of like that it's unconventional, but they definitely nail many romantic moments throughout the series. That's kind of really all I can say without getting into too many spoilers. Now, this is where I'll mention really the only gripe that I have with the show is that a lot of the side characters weren't very fleshed out, which makes sense. I mean, it's only a 10-episode series. You can only do so much. It's frankly impressive how much they were already able to put in, but I don't know, it just made moments later in the series feel a little bit less impactful. Pretty much only Lucy, David, and Maine actually had the screen time to derive emotion from me, but everyone else kind of just felt like a bot. And there are things at times that just make no sense at all. Like this scene with David and Lucy. They're running away from these two bikers and they get stuck at a traffic jam. So David starts activating his implant in the car and then just starts making the car go fucking crazy. How is this even possible? How are you activating your implant and doing this? Like, you have to be activating your implant, getting out of the car, flipping the car, then going back inside the car. I mean, come on, man. This implant is far more than military grade, bro. This fucking aliens made this shit. How are you doing this? I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but it doesn't make sense. Okay, so with all of this considered, as well as my own personal taste, I'm gonna have to give Cyberpunk Edgerunners a crisp 9 out of 10. Not perfect, but it almost got there. So I originally wanted to make this video a somewhat full breakdown of the anime, but seeing as it's only 10 episodes, that would have just been me uploading the anime to my channel, so no. But I will be doing some full breakdowns in the future. Likely the first one I'll ever do will be on Severance. I also want to do a lot more of these short formatted reviews though, because there's a plethora of shows and movies that I have to catch up on for this channel. So if there's any you want me to do next, comment and I just might do it.